Hello, hello, good evening, and happy Wednesday. All right, I'm gonna give it a few seconds to give people a chance to hop on, and in the meantime, I'm going to find this on my computer and make sure that I'm live in the right place. So as you're hopping on, please do say hello. Hello, Sonia. How's everybody doing? It's Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and I am Zara Premji. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Markham, Ontario, Canada, and I'm here for your weekly Wednesday Facebook Live crafting show. I see some friends hopping on. Hello, Natalie, Rhonda. Thank you for sharing, Sonia. I appreciate you so much. Hello, Colette, watching from Summerside, Prince Edward Island. Thank you for joining. Hello, Donna from cold, what's PA? Sounds so bad, I should know this. I'm really terrible with like Canadian geography, forget US geography. Pennsylvania, I think PA is Pennsylvania. I may have totally just embarrassed myself. Wherever you're watching from, thank you for being here. It is cold here as well. We've had the most strange weather here in Toronto. Last week it was sunny and we were sitting outside on our patio furniture enjoying the warm weather, and then it poured rain for a few days, and then I couldn't believe my eyes. There was snow this morning. So it did melt pretty quickly. Like there's no more snow on the ground now, and hopefully that's the last of it. But yeah, April is always a strange month for weather here in Ontario. And I remember my wedding day. My husband and I got married on April 28th, 2002. So we're celebrating 19 years next week. And we had a hailstorm on our wedding day. I remember driving to my hairdresser at like 5 in the morning, and there was literally hail coming down, and then it poured rain the whole day. So nothing surprises me. Hello, Cheryl. Hello, Laurel. Hello. Thank you for telling me your name, because I was about to be like, oh, what's LD Crafted? Hello, Laurel. Hello, Indy. Pennsylvania. Thank you. I'm sorry, Donna. I do kind of have these like brain farts every now and then, but I knew I'd get to it eventually. And yes, Arizona. Natalie loves Arizona. And I've been to Arizona 2 years ago. Not 2 years ago, but I've been to Arizona as well years ago. And I loved it there. We were in Scottsdale and we stayed on a nice little resort, and we went ATVing in Sedona and saw the Grand Canyon, and it was just like breathtaking. Laurel from Guelph, Ontario. Thank you for watching, my fellow Ontarian. Hello, Janice. Sunny and 13. I'm glad that you had some nice weather today, because you guys had like a really good dumping of snow in March, if I remember correctly. So thank you. Welcome, everybody. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. If you're watching for the first time, please do let me know in the comments. And if you're watching the replay, you can also indicate that below in the comments. So I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for over 8 years. And I had never made a card in my life before I got invited to my first Stampin' Up! Workshop. And I went because I really just wanted, I just wanted a break. I was a busy mom. I was working full time. I had 2 kids at the time. I think I was pregnant with my third, or maybe got pregnant with my third just after. And, you know, life was really busy and I just needed an outlet. And so I went to this crafting workshop. I fell in love with the card making, but what I really fell in love with was how easy and quick it was, the way that everything coordinated so beautifully. So I didn't have to think, because as a busy mom, I really didn't have a lot of brain power to think. And I loved that I was making something functional and something that would bring meaning to somebody else. So fell in love with that right away. And then as soon as I started doing classes and workshops, I really quickly realized that I love sharing stamping with others. And so if anything I say or do inspires you or just makes you feel like going to make something, then I've done my job, and I'm happy to have that opportunity. So thanks to all of you that are watching. I'm happy to have so many friends here. So I mentioned in my post earlier that we all have a lot of really incredible women in our lives. I'm sorry, I keep getting messages and I have to keep flipping them off the screen. So we have some really incredible women in our lives, whether they are mothers, daughters, sisters, friends, granddaughters, grandmothers, aunts. We have so many incredible healthcare workers that are women. We have teachers, coaches. There's just like, if you really stop and think about it, when I did that today, I just realized I'm surrounded by so many incredible women. And so I think that it's so important to let these women know how important they are to us. And one way to do that is to create something handmade for them. And you know that I love to make cards, so obviously you know where this is going. We're going to be making a handmade card. But I also wanted to start to think about Mother's Day, which is 18 days away. And it's going to look a little different this year, much like it did last year, because we are still in a pandemic. So we won't be able to celebrate in person the way we normally do with my mom and my mother-in-law and my sisters, etc. So anyway, I just had that on my heart today, and I thought that I would design a card in celebration of all the women. So if you love what you see today, or if you have a special or incredible woman that you think might enjoy watching this, tag them below or share it on your pages, and hopefully we can share the creative inspiration around. So without further ado, I'm going to flip the camera down. I'm going to show you what we're going to be playing with, and then we will get started with some crafting. Okay, so keep commenting below. I'd love to hear from you, and do tell me if there's someone special that you have in mind tonight, a special woman in your life that you're thinking about, or that you want to send some good wishes to. Tell me about the incredible women in your life. Okay, so look away for a second while we flip this down. All right, okay. I don't think I have this at the right angle, so hang on, we gotta adjust a little bit more today. And hopefully this will stay put. If you're having any trouble seeing the tabletop surface, just let me know, okay? All right, hang on. Let's do this. If you're not gonna come to me, I'll come to you. There we go. Okay, so we are going to be playing with the, oh, I see my camera shifting. Hold on. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. If you have any trouble seeing, please let me know in the comments and I will adjust if needed, okay? All right, so we are going to be playing with the Hydrangea Haven Suite Collection. And I should have had this marked off in my book, but it's in the January to June mini catalog. It's on pages 18 and 19, and it is a suite collection, which means that it has a bunch of different coordinating products that have all been put together in a suite. But you can purchase the products separately, and so I'll tell you a little bit about what's in the collection. So we have the Hydrangea Haven Bundle. That is a stamp set, a photopolymer stamp set, and the coordinating dies. So the stamp set has 22 stamps in it. It's got a variety of images and sentiments. It's got these beautiful watercolor splashes that you can use for your background or to stamp over the line art image to create sort of a watercolored flower effect. And then we've got the hydrangea dies. There are 9 dies in here. Some of them will cut out the images as you see them in the stamp set. So this is not to size, so I know that the die looks big, but when you actually stamp it, the flower is the same size. You'll get to see that happen today. And then we've got some other die cuts that will cut out some of the flower arrangements, and we've got these cute little labels and a little tag there. And then we've got this row of these beautiful little flowers, and you can actually cut out 9 of them at once, and you'll get to see that in action today too. So that's the bundle, and when you purchase both together, you actually save 10%. So who doesn't love saving money, right? What you also get included in the suite is there are some embellishments. So we've got these beautiful pastel pearls, and we've got the gorgeous great ribbon, and then we've got this gorgeous acetate paper. Now I won't be using these products, but these are all going to be retiring, okay? So at the end of this catalog period, they will not be returning into our new catalog. Also retiring is the Hydrangea Hill Designer Series paper. So this is a 12 by 12 pack of paper, and I've cut into some of the pieces already, but I'll show you some of what's left. So we've got this beautiful watercolor floral, and then on the back we've got this nice light purple, again watercolored and striped. And then we've got this one here with all the hydrangeas. And then on the back you've got this green sort of gingham look to it. And then we've got these little tiny flowers, and on the back you have these large print flowers. So it's just gorgeous paper. And then this one on one side, we've got these large hydrangeas and then a smaller pattern on the other side. This is something you'll see commonly with Stampin' Up's paper, is that on one side they might have a big pattern and then on the other side it's more kind of geometric. So that's an example of that here. So I think there might be one or two sheets that I've already cut up that you might not be able to see. Let me see here. Okay, we've got this one here. That's a full sheet. So this would be a really nice piece for a scrapbook page or for a home decor piece. You can also cut this in half and then cut it into smaller pieces so that you can actually use them as card fronts or card layers. And then on the back, we've got the smaller print there. So lots of really, really nice patterns in this paper pack. And again, this is going to be retiring as well. So we will be using the paper on today's project. But if you don't already have this and you would like to get it, then you definitely want to order that before it retires. Okay, so let me show you a few projects featuring the Hydrangea Haven bundle, and then we will get started with our crafting. So here's one that I had done, which actually doesn't have the large hydrangea on it. I'm just gonna make sure I can see this on the screen. Janice, I'm seeing your comment here. Lots of incredible women in your life going to be making some special Mother's Day cards for family and friends who are in various forms of lockdown this year. Because who doesn't love Happy Mail? It's so true, right? So this one here is a card that I had done where you can see the designer series paper does most of the heavy lifting. And then I did a wreath of flowers. So I just cut out these small flowers from the dies and I did them in 3 different colors and then just added them to a gold hoop. Okay, so created a little wreath there. And then underneath the sentiment here is the mercury glass designer acetate paper. And so you can just see I put a little tiny piece of that there just to add a bit of shine and some color. And then I heat embossed the sentiment that says the world is better because of you, and then just sprinkled some little pearls. So it's a pretty simple card to make. And I think that just the details kind of make it a really pretty card. This one here is on a crumb cake card base, and you can see that I have cut out some of the little flowers. This is a little similar to the card that we're going to be making today in terms of the color scheme, but you'll see that there are some slight differences. So that's another one. I've done this for a blog hop. And then this one here is I watercolored the background and then heat embossed the hydrangea and then die cut that using the hydrangea dies and used a strip of the designer series paper. Okay, so a few different little elements and details. And then this here is a box that I got from my friend Aviva as a gift, and you can see that she's used the paper and one of the dies from the Tasteful Labels dies to create a flower pot. Okay, so really, really cool idea, and then just some beautiful die cut elements here. So you can see all of the different possibilities that you can do with this bundle. Hi, Michelle. Okay, so I'll show you the card that we're going to be doing today, and I'll show you that it was inspired by a layout that I used on some of our new products. So I'll show you the new product first. So this is a bundle called Color and Contour. So this is some new product, not yet available. So this is a little sneaky peeky. I made this card for my team had a little event, and we did an after party and we did some make and takes. So this was a card that everybody got to make as well as 2 others. So this is featuring the Color and Contour and then some of our gorgeous new designer series paper. It's from the it's called Hand Penned, and you will see a lot of this for me because it's my favorite. So just a really pretty and simple layout, and that is what has inspired my layout for tonight. Okay, so you can see the similarities in terms of just taking a strip of the designer series paper, and then I've done, you know, all the stamping is on this die cut here. This is also a little sneak peek, and we're going to use that on the card tonight. So let me show you how to create this card. I mentioned another little sneak peek. So in that Color and Contour bundle, there is the Scalloped Contours dies, and this is a set of 8 different dies, and I am a sucker for anything scalloped and stitched, and I love label dies. So this has a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different label dies, all different sizes, and then it's got some die cuts that will cut out the flowers in the coordinating stamp set, and then it's got this really awesome scallop stitched border. So we're going to be using this die here and going to be putting our hydrangea on that just to add some fun just a fun background effect, okay? So those are the dies. Those will be coming out May 4th. And if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and would like an annual catalog sent to you, just comment below or send me a message and I will pop one of these in the mail to you, okay? This goes live May 4th and it's amazing. So many good things in there. Okay, so I've got my pieces out here and I'm going to use the gray granite cardstock. So if you don't know me or if you're kind of new to watching me, I love anything pink. So anything pink that comes out, I have to have it. And then I also really love pink and gray together. So when pink and like a soft pink and a gray are put together, I just love the outcome. So that is one of my all-time favorite color combinations. So I'm just gonna go ahead and burnish this cardstock here. And while I'm doing all my stamping and die cutting, I want to give my Wink of Stella some time to dry. So here's what I'm going to do. So I've already cut this out using the Scalloped Contours dies, so you can see that it's got this really fun scalloped border, and then this dotted, I don't know, it's not really like a perforation, it's not really a stitched, I don't know, I'm having word finding difficulties, but it's got this little pierced border. And so what I'm going to do with my Wink of Stella is I'm going to just add a little bit of the Wink of Stella liquid, and I'm just going to brush it against the tip of the cap. Sorry, I'm going to sort of flick the brush tip against the cap. All right. So hopefully you can get a sense of how I'm doing that. And this is just to add a little bit of splatter on the background so that it doesn't look too stark. So hopefully you can see Wink of Stella is one of my most favorite tools. I don't know if we'd call it an embellishment, but it just adds this gorgeous shimmery glitter sheen to everything. So when you brush it against the tip, then you also get this kind of sparkly splatter, okay? So I love that look. That's something that I do often. And we will get going with our stamping. So I've already got my stamps on the blocks. And we'll start by stamping our hydrangea. So I'm going to stamp this first in Memento black ink. Oops. So I'm just going to ink that up. And when you have a large stamp on a block, I find it easier to hold the ink pad upside down and ink it up that way. And that just gives me a chance, a way to see that the whole stamp is inked up, okay? So I'm just going to, sorry, you'll see my head for a second. I'm going to stamp that straight down. And I'm going to die cut this anyway, so it doesn't matter that it's not perfectly straight. Sorry about my head in the camera. I didn't set up my camera mount properly today, so it's kind of at a weird angle and I had to push everything forward, so I'm pretty far away from my actual crafting today. So now I'm going to go in with Blushing Bride, and I'm just going to stamp over the hydrangea that's stamped in Memento black. Because it's a two-step stamp, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can see actually that the outline of this stamp will probably not match the outline of the line art no matter how you stamp it. And we're going to die cut that anyway, so it's all good. Okay, so we're going to move that aside, and then I'm going to stamp the leaves in Pear Pizzazz. Okay? So just gonna go over, I hope I'm doing this right. I'm really far away from it. There we go, I think that's good. Not too shabby. And then I want to do my heat embossing. So while I'm in stamping mode, I'm going to do my heat embossing. So I'm gonna grab a little scrap piece of basic black, and I'm going to use my white embossing powder, okay? So I'm just removing any of the oil or residue from the cardstock, and that'll just prevent the powder from sticking to it. And I'm going to use my Versamark ink. I'll just stamp that down. I think that looks okay. It's hard to tell when you stamp Versamark on black cardstock because it kind of just blends in. So we'll see once we add the embossing powder to this, what it looks like. So keep commenting below, and if you comment, that I'm going to actually be drawing a winner for this card. So I'm going to actually send this card to somebody, and you can keep it for yourself or you can send it to someone special. So make sure you comment. If you share, you'll also be entered, and then I will send a message to whomever is selected, and then you will get this card in the mail. All right. Okay. Sorry about all the noise. Okay, so there we go. We've got our heat embossing done. Oh, hello, Linda. Nice to see your name pop up. And Donna, you're a pink lover as well. Awesome. Hello, Nadine. Hello, Carol. Oh, nice to see you all. Okay, so I'm just going to chop off the ends here. I'm going to try and make that relatively straight. I'm not really good with cutting straight with scissors. This is why I need my Stampin' Trimmer all the time. Okay, so we're going to get rid of these little bits and bobs, and then we're going to do some die cutting. Okay, so I'm going to actually die cut this, and I'm also going to do my flowers. So I'll remove the dies that I need from here. Thank you, friends. I appreciate you. All right, so there's that, and then I'm going to do this one as well. Now, these would fit through the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, but I'm going to actually do them together, so I'm going to use my regular one, and I'm just going to pull that onto the screen. Hoping you get, yeah, I think you can see this okay. When I look in on my computer, it looks like everything is on screen, so. There we go. I need some new cutting plates. These are a little bit of a wreck. So I am going to just position this. Actually, I'm going to move this over to the side and set that down. And then I will put this right next to it. So you know me, I love to look for ways to decrease the amount of time spent making a card. Not because I'm lazy, I like to be efficient, or maybe I'm a little lazy. But if you can do more than one thing in one pass, then why not, right? Okay, so we will move this out of the way. That tool right there is probably my most used tool. What's your most used crafting tool? If you are a crafter watching, what's your most used crafting tool? Would it be your cut and emboss? Would it be your trimmer? Would it be your heat tool? Okay, sorry, I'm making a bit of a mess here. So you can see how with one pass of this die, I was able to cut out 9 flowers. Okay, so I love efficiency. I just love it. Okay, so we've got that done. I'm just going to put these away. If I don't, I'm sure to lose them. Okay, so that's done. Is there any other die cutting I need to do? Die cutting machine and trimmer. Yes, Carol. Okay, yeah, I would say, like, I can't do any card making without my trimmer, so that's definitely one that I use all the time. What do others use? What do you guys, what's your favorite tool? Or most used tool? What tool can you just not craft without? Okay, so here is the designer series paper that I talked about. So I'm just going to use my Stampin' Seal, put a little bit on each side, and I've cut this to 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so I don't want it to take up the whole card. Just have a little hint of the pink showing. Your trimmer, toss up between paper trimmer and your cut and emboss machine. Yep, people really love the trimmer. And I actually really love our new Stampin' Trimmer. So I liked the old one, but I especially love the new one. Okay, so let's get these pieces stuck down. And this is probably not what I would describe as a simple card or a beginner card. As you could see, you do need some additional tools for this card. But as far as kind of more stepped up cards go, it's still not too hard or time consuming to make, but I think it's very pretty. It's got some really nice details. So just using dimensionals here to stick these on. And let's see if I can fit one right here. Hello, Margaret. Trimmer and die cutting machine. Yeah, I guess those are like, I guess it's unanimous. Everyone seems to need those. Thank you, Maureen. Hello. Okay. All right, so we've got that done. And then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab my foam mat, and I want to, let's see here, do I have a stylus tip? So this is one of my other commonly used tools, is my take your pick tool. And I actually have two of them. And the reason I do that is because on one, I have my putty end, which I use to pick up little things. So if I want to pick up this flower, I can do that with the putty end. And then I've got the sharp edge, which I use to pick up my embellishments, which you'll see me do later. And then my stylus and my die brush end are on the other one. So just so that I don't have to keep switching them out, I keep two on in my little storage container on my desk. And I'm just using the stylus end to just add some dimension to these flowers. I don't think I'm actually going to use all of them, but this is just, it's fun. It feels good. So let's go with it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just shift that aside, and I'm going to use the putty end and just to pick it up and flip it over. Yes, the scallop dies are gorgeous. I was so excited when they came out with those. We have the Stitched So Sweetly dies, and those are lovely as well. Those have a different kind of smaller scallop on the edge. In fact, I had someone just email me today asking me to order them for her. So those are really awesome, the Stitched So Sweetly, but I love these ones as well. So I'm just sticking down some of these flowers. Again, just to add a little bit of dimension. And I'm just using my liquid glue here. Maybe put one here, and then I'm going to put one more in the center. So you could cover the hydrangea with these if you wanted, because again, there's, when you sorry, I'm just going to have to move this. When you die cut them, you get 9, so you've got some, maybe I will add some more, let's see. But you do want to add them in odd numbers. So when you have odd numbers of embellishments, which I'm going to add to these, then it just, it's more aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Did you know that? Okay, so I think I'm doing 7. There we go. Okay. We will embellish that in a second. I just want to let the glue dry. And the other thing I'm going to do here is to add some ribbon, okay? So I'm going to actually just put a strip of seal on the back, maybe 2, and then I'm going to just cut 2 pieces of ribbon and just stick them to the back of the greeting here that says, "To an incredible woman." Okay, so just gonna stick that down like that. There we go. And then I'm just going to set that down here. Okay, so you can see this gorgeous, it's called Gray Granite Shimmer Ribbon. So of course, because I use the gray granite base, it's very convenient that I happen to have a ribbon that matches. And so I'm going to stick this down. So I'm going to put a dimensional here and one here. And then I'm going to sort of straddle the stem. Like so. Okay? Maybe. I just want to make sure that this dimensional is not on top of this leaf here. There we go. Oh, I did a little boo-boo here. Okay, hold on. I have to do a little maneuvering here. Okay, this is not sticking now. I'm gonna have to fix that. Maybe I should have used a mini dimensional. Okay, I think that's good. Let me hold that there for a sec. And then we are going to embellish, and the card is almost done. So what do you think of this card? Remember, if you comment, you're going to get entered into a draw to win the card and have it mailed to you. So you can have this to give to somebody else, whether it's for Mother's Day or if there's a female teacher that you want to appreciate, or a daughter, sibling, any relative, friend, neighbor. All right. I love hearing from you guys. Thank you, Carol. So now I'm just taking these little pearls, the smallest size on this sheet, and I'm picking up the pearls. Remember I mentioned how I love using the pointy tip of my Take Your Pick tool. So I'm just doing that and sticking them on, and then our card is almost done. Thank you, Grace. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sonia. Thank you, Nicole. Oh, I'm glad that you love the colors. Maybe in case you just jumped on, I was talking about how I really love pink and gray together. And so that was a kind of a given for me with this color combo that I was going to try it. So that's the card, my friends. It wasn't too involved. I mean, you do need some tools to make it, but it is a gorgeous card. And what I love about it is that it can be given to so many different people for different occasions. Probably not your husbands, but for lots of women. And so I loved using the Hydrangea Haven Bundle for this. So like I mentioned, the designer series paper is going to be retiring, and there are some other coordinating products that go with this. Everything can be ordered from my online store, and I will include that link in the description, as well as a list of the products used today. And so I would love to continue hearing what you think of it. And you know, I asked lots and lots of questions today, so feel free to comment below. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for watching. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful evening. I'm going to take a second to look at the comments here. Oh, thank you. Natalie, you love the pink and gray together. Yes, me too. You know I love pink. Thank you, Janet. I'm so glad that you like the card and the colors. And Rana, you better, hopefully this inspires you to pull it out. And Janice, oh my goodness, you don't have this. Wow. Okay, well, luckily it's returning in our new catalog. And like I said, you can get it at the bundle price of 10% off. And then if you wanted to order the whole suite, there's one code that you can actually order all the products in that suite. I'll just show you really quickly how that works. So you can order the entire suite collection with one code, and that code is 155985. So you will get all the products on this page if you ordered with that one code. Okay, and I have an ordering special, so if you do spend $50 or more with me in my online store and you use this host code here, you're going to get a free embellishment. You will get the resin heart embellishments. I'm sorry I don't have them out here. You'll get the resin hearts, as well as 2 tutorial bundles and a handmade card for me. So that's it for me tonight. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Serena. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of the week. I hope you stay safe and well, and we will see you on Sunday morning for Coffee and a Card. Bye for now.